Hi everybody, this is A.R.A. Productions and welcome to a new video. This is going to be Mini System Test 1 with my new Firelight Mini Scan 4024 fire alarm control panel that I got from David, who's right here. He's working on some stuff right now for a new video that's going to be coming out soon. But anyway, I wanted to go into some semi-brief history of this panel, its actual history, and then the history of these panels together. So this panel was manufactured in the early 80s, and it came in several varieties. This was actually the predecessor to the Firelight MS series. So, and by MS I mean like the MS2 and the MS4. And then that started the gateway for all the newer Firelight panels as it progressed. But this panel was ahead of its time when it came out. So this panel was actually later replaced by the SensaScan series, which is actually this panel right here. So, anyway, but this panel was manufactured in the 80s, and it was a really good panel of its time. Let me open up the panel real quick. Let me get that Firelight key.
Yeah, mini scan is the SensaScan on steroids. Or the SensaScan is the mini scan on steroids.
Basically. So, this panel is, it has 5 zones. One is a,
Well, it's 4 by default with plus supervisor.
Yeah, there's a supervisory zone, there's 2 NACs, an alarm relay, and then there's non-resettable power right there. And then this is another, I don't know what this is right here.
So this is your regulated power, unregulated power, and both your negatives go where the common terminal.
Yeah, so, but anyway, this is the type of modular panel it is. It's obviously running off of 124 volts, 120 volts AC, and it's 50 or 60 hertz, and yeah. So here's that transformer, here's all the circuitry. We don't have batteries in it right now because I don't have any batteries, but you can actually, with these panels, there's a resistor right there that's monitoring the batteries, and if you take it out, it'll actually go normal, and you don't have a battery trouble. It actually looks like it's in right now, but only one of those is in. But, what?
15?
Yeah, it's fine. This panel was actually installed in a bar in an undisclosed location in Pennsylvania, and this bar actually
I'll make some history about the bar.
I mean,
So alright, so they had BG10s, alright,
which is what we have right here.
MT24 LSMs, this one right here, alright. So it had these. I believe they were set to high volume continuous. I never heard them go off. And right above the bar were these. Now keep in mind there were also 2 apartments above the bar. This system failed the inspection, and they just replaced the entire system with I think a 5UD. I'm not 100% sure. But outside was an MT, which eventually died over the years. The water flow switch and the tamper switch were not tied into the system. So that
you can actually read the report right quick if you want.
So I'll read it to them.
He's gonna I'm gonna just here.
Okay, so the report clearly states NAC 1 trouble on Christmas. Merry Christmas. That was on the outside MT. The horn strobe was not working, and that's why I said they replaced it with Spectral Advanced. There was no resistance on NAC 2, or on NAC 1. NAC 2 read 10K like it was supposed to. The 2 units above the bar had horn strobes, they didn't work. The unit smokes were on zone 4, they worked, they read a resistance of 4.7 k ohm resistance. The annual inspection was on January 3rd of 2018, and several devices were replaced, and the flow and the tamper switch were not tied into the panel. That's a major violation.
Was there anything on the back?
No,
there was not. So, but essentially that this system was a bit of a... It was installed in a time period where basically, I'm pretty sure those MTs may have not been the original alarms.
They actually were.
They were?
They actually were. When the bar was built, they put MTs.
Okay, so the MTs are probably brand new with those at that time, at least the LSM models, because it was probably in the 90s then, because they were still using the WS24 up into the early 90s,
Yeah,
which was then replaced by the WM strobes, if I can find one of my alarms with the WM strobe. Oh yeah, here. So this is actually one of the first MT horn strobes. This is what they look like with a WM strobe on them. This is actually a weathered device, but they did have a couple of models with a WS-24 strobe on it.
Let me see that again. Okay, so that device was actually a few blocks away from the bar in a writing, and that was actually, I think it was either a 5204 or a 5207 it was tied into.
Yeah, but so yeah, but this is going to be emulating a typical system you would probably see with this panel. There's actually a Toys R Us that actually obviously closed down because Toys R Us isn't in business currently, by one of my grandparents' old houses, and it had mainly these Wheelock EHs, the EHS EL1s, except for they weren't branded by Pyrotronics. They didn't have any smokes that I saw. They mainly had BG10s and SP10 back boxes, and they did have one Wheelock 7002T up by the front entrance. I think I have a picture or two of that system on my Instagram, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. But anyway, so this is a typical system you'd see with this panel, probably 2400s as well, because they were around that time. It is possible to see probably 7002Ts, masses, SHGs, possibly Spectra alerts, and MTs on the system as well. Those were the main alarms you'd see, but typically I'm pretty sure it was mainly Wheelock devices and possibly masses. But anyway, just going to put my ear protection on real quick. I'm not going to need my keys for this video except for the panel. So we are going to test the system real quick. Now obviously since this panel is old, it does not have any coding options. So this EH will be doing free run, or in this case, continuous. So, you ready?
That's also another reason why it was actually uninstalled, because it was not ADA compliant.
Exactly. So, you ready?
Good.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm in the house. All right. Okay. Need the Allen wrench.
I think that's in the 5U.
Probably is. Hold on. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Alright.
Good. The panel's already unlocked.
Thank you. Alright, so, ow! Anyway. So, we're going to reset this real quick. I will test that smoke detector, but I'm not going to do it yet because I want to reset the system. And yes, there are switches on this panel rather than buttons. So let me show you how to reset this real quick. And so the way that this panel works is actually, this may be a modular panel, but this is a newer modular panel. So rather than isolating the zone, you can actually still silence it because it was a panel from the 90s. But with this panel, you actually have to isolate the zone. So
yep, and that panel does not have subsequent alarm.
yeah, it doesn't. So watch, I can reset the system, but I'm going to leave the zones disabled. So if I pull it again, it'll go into alarm, but it won't activate because the zone is actually still isolated from the panel. So, but if I were to enable the zone, it would activate the EH.
For those of you guys who have seen it, New Age Server Alarm did a video on his Xans 400 about that. It works pretty much the same.
Yeah, basically. So now we will reset the system and we will flip these switches back up and it will be normal. So now we're going to take our little screwdriver and we're going to use the test hole of the 2400 TH. Okay, since I don't have to reset it, I just have to reset the system. And we will, and I meant I don't have to reset a pole station because it's a smoke detector. So, that is going to be it. This is just a little demo system for this panel. I didn't want to go too crazy. 1 pull, 1 smoke, 1 NA. So it's very bare bones, but it gets the job done. And even if I really don't see fit to have batteries in here regardless, just for the sheer fact that it's such a small panel and it's not really monitoring anything other than that smoke and that pull. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you want to see more videos on this panel. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you check out David.
See you guys.